Okay, I think this works. Right, as always, I might as well get up my own YouTube, so I'm literally watching myself to make sure it's not being stupid. Um, right, nobody is watching right now, but that will probably change soon. So, yeah. So this is my Petaminx. I've had it for a few months now. I've never actually solved it myself. It's been solved like 2 or 3 times at competitions by mixtures of people. I've been to competitions with the goal of getting it solved without me turning it at all. And I think, yeah, I was successful. I think I might have had to fix a pop or something. But other than that, yes, I was successful. So, yeah, I've got to solve the Petaminx myself, finally. I don't know how long this is going to take. My Dianching Terraminx took me like 35 minutes or something. So, this is probably going to take well over an hour, which is annoying, but I'm bad at Terraminx, funnily enough. I'm also bad at Petaminx and any Minx puzzles for that matter. For some reason, this white center is just already solved. So I guess I need to like mess that up because that's kind of a unfair head start, and it's not really a full solve if there's like one center solved, which is probably adding an extra few minutes to my solve time by messing that up. But it has to be done. Right. Um, Hello, Gargameals. Hello, Cubing FR. And yeah, sorry, I'm not at Scottish Championships. I am registered technically. I was going to go, but it's way too expensive to get up there and find accommodation and all that. And I'm not sponsoring it, so it's kind of pointless. So yeah, sorry. And no, you cannot get a free Rubik's Cube footy ball. That is not something I do. You can buy speed cubes from speedcubing.org, which I happen to own. They are not Rubik's Cubes. I have no affiliation with Rubik's whatsoever. And also, yes, Cubing FR is correct that Rubik's is spelled R-U-B-I-K apostrophe S because it's referring to Erno Rubik, who invented it, and it is his cube, the apostrophe for possession. Am I teaching grammar now? Yeah, I'm terrible at grammar. Don't listen to me when it comes to grammar. My mum was always correcting me in my grammar, both in English and German. And mein Deutsch ist nicht gut. No, no, don't worry about it. Like, you're fine to do stuff like that. It's just obviously lots of people ask for free stuff from cube stores, and it can get a bit silly. Like, because obviously I can't give people free cubes. That would be ridiculous. Well, I can, but rarely. The vast majority of cubes that leave my warehouse have to be sold. That is just how it works. Right. Okay, so I've got the orange center half done. Ugh, this is a trouble trying to get these two. Second line done. How much does a Petaminx like that cost? Well, yes, obviously this is the magnetic Petaminx, which is I think £115 at speedcubing.org. You can get a slightly cheaper Shengshao one. There used to also be the Yushin Huanglong Petaminx, which was actually more expensive, but obviously that became completely redundant when Diansheng released this magnetic one. I think they might have actually released their own magnetic one as well. I haven't got it yet. I'm not sure if I will. Too much. Oh, come on. That's subjective. If you want to buy a Petaminx, please do buy a Petaminx. Like, obviously I want you to buy a Petaminx. Can't go round as a cube store owner and tell people not to buy cubes. Nama's a message redacted, okay. I won't query what that was. Okay, that's decent. Always get that wrong. Got to count the layers. I don't like counting layers. You just don't have to do that with any normal sized cubes. It's only with really big cubes you have to think about. Can I make a video about the Weilong V11? Well, yes, when I have it. It's not been released yet. And I don't know how long it will be until it does get released. Obviously, it must be good for Yiheng Wang to have broken the world record average with it, but that's all I know. Sadly, I'm not quite big enough for cube manufacturers to send me stuff before it gets released. It would be nice, but to be fair, it has happened, but it's rare, very rare. I got a Dian Pro Megaminx early, and I got a well, I suppose I sort of got the Diansheng 10 by 10 early, but only by, well, it actually arrived on the same day, and I kind of won it in their, like, one of their giveaways for solving, and I think it was an 8 by 8 in, like, pretty good time. Which isn't really the point. Right, where's the final orange piece? There it is. Okay, 7 minutes to solve the first center. Right, okay. Now on to the second. I'm going to go with green. Well, this light green, because there are multiple greens on the Petaminx. What can I talk about while solving a Petaminx? Knowing that probably nobody's watching me. But then they might. Somebody might randomly watch whatever I say. And that's the funny thing about the internet. So how's it going at Scottish Championships? I guess if you're competing at Scottish Championships, you can't watch all of my stream on solving a Petaminx. Okay, so there's like a 17-second lag between my moves and what shows up on screen. Interesting. So wrong piece. Well, it's the right piece, but the wrong way. You were at the same comp as me in Vilnius. Oh, wow, okay. Somebody from Lithuania is watching my videos. Um, Ash Nakalbo Lajatovishki. Is that pronounced correctly? Um, yeah, quite liked it in Lithuania. I got to meet the 100-kilometer world record holder, Alexander Sorokin, at the park run there. That was an interesting surprise. I did not expect him to be there. Um, but yeah, nice little country I haven't been to before. Maybe I'll go back at some point. I also visited the Right. Well, I mean, I can't get up Google Translate, so if you're going to speak a language other than English, Spanish, and maybe German, then I will not be able to understand any of it whatsoever. Maybe somebody else can put that through Google Translate and see what Yo Cubers is trying to say. Because, well, I don't know what language it is, and I also definitely don't speak whatever language it is. Oh, bro, that was English. Bole bola bala chili kai sutu paikana. That's English. No, that's not English. Well, that looks like either Russian or Ukrainian to me. Hi, okay, that's English. Well done. You can speak English. Yes, well, obviously I can't just go to Lithuania and sell cubes there. Um, there's all sorts of restrictions on that. Like I'd have to sponsor the competition, and then I'd have to do all sorts of export declarations to move cubes into the European Union. So, good. You can speak English too. Good. What were you saying though? In and what language was that you were speaking? Not only I can speak, I am an expert at English. Oh, okay. Um, I think if you're an expert at English, you'd have phrased that slightly differently. The grammar is just slightly different to what I think a native English speaker like me would say. Some funny stories about that. I don't know how much people care about that on streams like this. Like when Michael Haukzuk from Poland, because I sell some of his lubricants, he asked me to check the English grammar, and of course, it was pretty good, except he never used um, any articles. He never used a or the. And I discovered that it's because they don't have them in Polish. So he didn't think about it. So I had to say, look, you've got to say, put the lubricant in the cube, not put lubricant in cube. Because obviously I can understand if you say put lubricant in cube, but it's not correct. It's basic Russian and Bengali and Hindi. Right. Yeah, I had Indian housemates. It was a bit strange how they just randomly speak. Sometimes speak Hindi, sometimes what was it, Madrati? Marathi? Yeah, it's Marathi that they spoke a lot of the time. And then one of them spoke Telugu. Yeah, it is. Although I've discovered that I can prepay and then reclaim the import VAT. So it's not quite as bad as it used to be for shipping into the EU, but obviously I'm way too scared to try and sell stuff there. The what? And why would you put that on my stream? Okay, just for fun to see if I'm capable of understanding the sentence. Okay, well, sorry, but I don't understand any Indian languages. I can only speak English and basic Spanish and very basic German. Which, to be fair, is probably better than the average English person. Some basic Russian for some reason. Fair enough. Yana говори по-русски. Um, are you going to Worlds? Yes, I intend to, if they let me in. I still haven't got my visa to say I can go into the US, but hopefully that'll come in time. Might have to chase it up soon. Okay, that's well onto the third centre. But I have a feeling it's going to take over an hour just to solve the centres, which just feels so ridiculous. Just something about taking that long to solve this thing that I don't like. Guess if I ever get a 21 by 21, I'll have to go way beyond that though. Just so you're aware, I can source 21 by 21s for £1,250. If you're interested, please contact me. Obviously, only if you're actually interested. Okay, goodbye, yo, Cubers. Somebody's bought a cube. Just got a notification. Can't really check to see what they've bought though. Or who or anything like that. Don't do any of that silly. Oh, this somebody bought this cube 20 minutes ago, and it's like, is that actually true? I'm not sure. A lot of these sites, I have some question marks about the integrity of. You really present pronounce my username correctly. Okay. Just because I did a long yo. You probably copied that from Cubehead, of course. Yeah, I've met Cubehead. And technically, very briefly, in one of his videos. My website is also featured in one of his videos for some very, very strange reason. Um, I never expected that. Okay, where's that final grey piece? There it is. That is third centre. Done. Right, what next? I don't like any of them. Purple one's the obvious one, but I can't do purple because it's not next to one I have already done. So I'm going to have to do yellow, even though it's really no progress has been made at all. Right. Of course I bought from these Chinese stores at some point, like I run a cube store. Like of course I have at some point had to buy something from pretty much every Chinese store you can think of. I've also had problems with them that have never been resolved. So, like, yeah, sure, it's cheap, but there's no customer service at these stores, or very little. I once ordered a load of dinosaur cubes from Z Cube. They didn't send me one of the dinosaurs, so I ended up with 5. When there's 6 different ones. They never responded to my inquiry about that. They just completely ignored it. So that's kind of what you get at these sites. And of course, because most people will probably be like, well, I'm never going to buy from them again if they did that. But obviously, like, I might have to. And like, I know, yes, sometimes things go wrong, but yeah, like, come on, just support your local cube store in the UK, speedcubing.org. If you don't support it, it might disappear. Like, that's kind of how things work. Businesses can only operate if people are buying stuff. You need 1 hour and 4 minutes. I suspect this will take me longer than that. I'd like to be done in 1 hour and 4 minutes, but it's probably not going to happen. There is the piece. There it is. Am I sick? Slightly. Obviously, it's just a cold. Like, it's not nothing serious. It can't be spread over the internet, so don't worry. At some point with these puzzles, I should bring back the um, guess my time giveaways. Did that once. My sister won. It's a bit annoying. Kind of impressive considering she knows very, very little about cubing. But she did win my guess my 13 by 13 time giveaway. I've got to be slightly more careful about preserving the centres, making sure I don't destroy anything that I've already built. So that would be very annoying. Have to redo a centre. Start seeing any greys, yellows or greens or oranges. I'm quite pleased this hasn't popped yet. Hopefully it won't. That would be annoying if it did. Yeah, so kind of know you're not supposed to solve this with it in your hand, both hands off the ground all the time. You're supposed to table abuse, like all these cheats doing one-handed. Am I allowed to call them cheats? Probably not really. If you're solving a cube with one hand, like surely you have to solve it with one hand, not one hand and the table. But obviously, like, my regulations are not the true regulations. How old am I? 22. Why? And welcome, Matteo DG. Welcome to the stream where I solve this very big puzzle for whatever reason. Kind of needs solving. I mean, it's kind of my job to like sell you cubes, so I guess yeah, there's some new cubes that have come out recently. The GAN 460's up for pre-order if anyone's interested. What else? Do I like chess? To be fair, I have been getting into chess recently. I'm okay. Well, I'm about 600 elo at the moment, although I kind of feel like chess.com's like I'm probably actually a bit higher than that, but I keep losing games I shouldn't be losing because I'm silly, make a blunder or whatever. I can pretty easily beat 1,200 elo bots. But obviously this is a cubing stream. Although I did actually play chess in my last cubing stream. So you can watch that game. I think I drew that game actually. My goal is simply to beat my dad at chess. He's pretty good at chess. He used to get me to play it and he kind of wanted me to get good at it, but I never did. I got into cubing instead. Maybe now I'm a bit older. I can practice a bit and beat him. Got to get that. Yes. You're watching this at 11 a.m. before the exam. What exam? Can I test you on whatever subject you're supposed to be studying for? I've done that at running training a few times recently. Made up random maths questions with the about the track. Um, well, I mean, come on, maths revision. How? Where does the 43 quintillion number come from? Like, work it out. Do the maths. How do we know that there are 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489,856,000 possible combinations in a cube, in a 3 by 3 cube? That is maths revision. Surely. How do you calculate that number? If you want incredibly difficult maths revision, well, how many combinations are there on a Petaminx? That I do not know. I assume it is probably more. Yeah, it's probably way more than the number of atoms in the universe. Like even a a 7 by 7 is the number of atoms in the universe squared roughly. So this must be like ridiculous number. Like, what on earth would it be? Probably will be over 10 to the 1000. Do I know digits of pi? Yes, 326, that is 300 digits, and I've never bothered learning any more since because I realised it was so pointless. Although I may one day make it, I've been thinking of doing it for a long time, of making a video where I learn another 100 digits of pi as quickly as possible to prove that Mike Boyd's video, where he spent ages learning like a memory technique to learn 100 digits of pi, is just silly. Like, no disrespect to Mike Boyd, but like, you could have just learned 100 digits of pi and not done all that silly memory technique stuff. But I guess it wouldn't have made quite as an interesting video. Rubik's Company on the 80s be like type 1 and hold the 0 and stop when it seems long enough. Okay, well done. You know 214 digits of pi. Oh, I should reach 314. To be fair, there is a point there. Maybe when I finish solving the Petaminx, I could learn another 14 digits of pi. Probably take me like a minute. But then it's obviously a case of retaining them. That's the thing. It's obviously like I do 3x3 blindfolded, so I not very often, I'm not very good at it, but I can do it, and obviously that is memorizing 20 letters. For me, at least, it is. I know most people use these like letter pairs and make words and all that stuff, but I don't. And become a maths professor. Yeah, right. Fed up with maths after it got to like A-level standard. Got to do all this silly integration stuff. And of course, the trouble is with that sort of maths is you can spend ages trying one way of doing things, and then you realize, oh, I was supposed to do it a different way, and then you've just wasted 10 minutes trying to do things the way you thought you were supposed to do them, and then that doesn't work, but you don't know it doesn't work until you try, and that just annoyed me. I go up to GCSE level. I'm sure there's loads of people watching who don't know what I'm talking about when I say GCSE level, but in the UK, that's like the exams you do when you're 16. Up to that level, like, fine, like, pretty easy. But beyond that, I just don't like it. Obviously, I'm pretty good at mental maths as well. Do you think the gorilla will win at 100? Do I go to uni? Not anymore. I graduated. I have a piece of paper that says I have a degree in politics. so I can tell you all the nonsense about our government, um, and how our electoral system works. Um, you are 100 gorillas versus one man. Yeah, I've heard about this. I mean, I think the 100 men would win, but it would be disastrous, and it had better never actually happen because obviously there would be lots of fatalities. Where is the final blue corner piece? Do not see it. Where is it? Oh, oh, there it is. I'm just blind. 5 to go. Here it is, a sadistic man. Yes, sadistic. So sad that I'm solving a Petaminx. Actually, I shouldn't say that because, like, I want people to buy Petaminxes from my site. Like, yeah, come on, Petaminxes are fun. Like, you should buy every single Petaminx I stock, and then make a comparison where you solve all of them in one sitting, and then you decide which one is the best. You stick to your Megamix. Oh, come on, boring. Goodbye, Matteo, and thank you for tuning in. I know that nobody's going to stick around for the whole thing. I'm surprised Charlie isn't here. He's usually all over my streams. Or, well, no, it's not he, is it? It's they or she, isn't it? Um, tips for getting faster on a 3x3 other than learning OLO and PLL. Well, why don't you want to learn OLO and PLL? Um, Obviously, like, your F2L is probably absolutely terrible. Um, Sorry, it kind of bugs me watching slow cubers F2L. That's one thing that annoys me to watch because so many people do such ridiculous, inefficient things, and you just think, why even bother doing F2L? Like, if you're going to do F2L, like, do it properly. Like, if you don't know where that piece is going to be, you're not really doing F2L. Like, if you don't know that piece, well, if you can't plan, let's phrase this better. If you cannot plan the whole pair at once, you are not doing F2L. You're just doing some silly variation of beginner's method that's probably less efficient than beginner's method itself. And obviously, like, I know when you're starting, I was probably terrible when I first started learning F2L, but now we have all these resources. There are so many ALGs. Like, come on, just learn decent stuff. And obviously, like, I'm sure there is stuff I could learn that would make it even better. How does one learn look ahead? You don't really. You just do loads and loads of solves. Obviously, you can do slightly slower solves to, like, practice things. Grilled corn or buttercorn? I presume this is some American thing that I don't really know anything about. Maybe I'll find out when I'm at Worlds. I'll get to try some other American food. Because obviously we have loads of American food, but not everything here in the UK. We have McDonald's, we have KFC, we do have Taco Bell now, although I've never... have I ever tried it? I don't think so. Oh, I remember when Taco Bell first opened in Sutton after school. The queues were ridiculous. There was a massive queue all along Sutton High Street. Obviously I didn't join it. Might have been the first Taco Bell in the UK. I'm not sure. Sutton is kind of the place they could try and do stuff like that. Oh, almost had my first pop there. And yes, see you in July, Tubing Kid. I presume that's at Stevenage. Yeah, obviously. Like, I run a cube store, so of course I've tried the Axis cube. And can I solve it? I think I have solved it. I'm not sure I can say I can solve it on demand. Just because I have no reason to. Same with 3x3x4, it's funny. I don't remember how to solve a 3x3x4, and yet I made a tutorial on how to solve it, which I should probably watch. I should probably watch my own tutorial on how to solve a 3x3x4. Hi, JCC Cuba. Welcome to my stream where I solve this ridiculously big Megaminx. Well, it's not a Megaminx, it's a Petaminx. What did I get in my GCSEs? I got a 9 in maths. I got an 8 in physics. I got a 7 in... Ich habe ein 7 in Deutsch. I got a 7 in geography and a 7 in biology and chemistry. I got an A star in further... No, I got an A in further maths. Um, yes, I am doing no cross edges before finishing centres. I know that's a bit weird. I know, but I'm not good at this stuff. you, okay, goodbye, YT Crafter. Sleep well. What else did I get? Um, I gave up on music because I was going to fail it. um, I got a 6 in history, and I got a 5 in English, both language and literature. I guess I'm not very good at English. There's this weird heart in the way that's stopping me reading everyone's full messages. So it's like I read the message from the physicist Cuba saying, yeah, doing straight redux. Oh, yes. You can listen to the last turns because the stream will be available for replay. It's a really good idea to do some edges right after doing half the centres. Yeah, it probably is. I'm scared of trying stuff like that. No, I currently do not have any other sources of income other than running a cube store. So, please, buy cubes. First 6 centres, then F2L, and then do normal redux from there. Yeah, that's probably the best way of doing it. Yeah, but obviously, like, I don't really practice minxes. I mean, I'm still national record holder for 9x9. And I do full redux. Don't give me any of that yow on 9x9 nonsense. Yeah, it probably is easier to solve it on the table, but I don't like doing that. And also, of course, it's very difficult to ensure that it stays in frame all the time, and trying to do it on the table would make that even more difficult. Recently got a head camera, which I'm going to be using for some stuff soon. I've got a comment on YouTube, probably on something else. Looks heavy, yeah. It's a bit heavy. My finger's slightly aching, but what can I do? It's probably worse when I tried to do OH with the wrong hand earlier in that short, because I had to practice that a bit first to make sure I wasn't terrible. Any other hobbies? Well, I like running. I like winning park runs, which is why I've got a parkrun t-shirt on. I highly recommend parkrun. Great thing. Every Saturday morning you can run 5k. Right, so it is over an hour now into the solve, and I have still not finished the sentence. I mean, I kind of knew this would be the longest time spent on a single puzzle. But yeah, it's slightly annoying. So I did go to uni. I have a degree in politics. So yes, our government is terrible, and you should vote for me. Um, I will fix everything. Definitely. I will mandate that every child has to learn how to solve a cube, or they will fail all their exams. And obviously joking, in a very unlikely event that I ever do actually stand for political office. Because knowing what people are like these days, like, if I were to ever stand for political office, which, as I said, is incredibly unlikely, people would go through this stream to find out everything I said and hold it against me. That's the pettiness of people these days. Oh, yes. You've just realised who you're watching. Okay. Yes. Well, yes, thank you for getting a GAN 11 Pro off me. Right. Almost done. I think I'm going to have to do some commutators. Commutators. Hopefully not many of them. Right side of the GAN is not looking good. In what way is it not looking good? I mean, obviously, if it's a stickered cube and the stickers are coming off, well, yeah, that's why we don't use stickered cubes anymore, really. Um, if it's a stickless cube, then I'm not sure what's happening. 106.44 for the centres. Right, okay. So where's that piece? Now I've got to search through 30 edges. Oh yes, that's another maths question for all you people who've got exams. How many edges are on a megamix? I mean, I have just given you the answer, but visible imperfections. It's stickless. It seems like dirt that should come off, but it doesn't. Okay. Well, I'm afraid I don't really know what to suggest there. Like, that's just. I guess if it's old and it's not UV coated, I don't know if it'd be any better if it is UV coated, to be fair. This is kind of the trouble with running a cube store. It's like I hear about problems with cubes, but I never face them myself because I never use the same cube for long enough. Because, like, new cubes come out. So it's like I don't need to. Like, obviously, I don't still use a GAN 11M Pro. I have a GAN 11M Pro that's been probably sat in a drawer for years and not been touched, quite possibly. And no, you can't have it. That's what you're asking. Just in case anybody's thinking that. So that. Oh, there it is. I mean, if I've got duplicates, then it's something to think about, I suppose, if then nobody's buying them. But, yeah, I do like to keep one of each cube for reference. I think it's good practice as a business to do that. So I can go back and like compare. Although I hardly ever actually do that. I should do that a lot more, I think. You just want to tell me how you're feeling. Okay, how are you feeling? Crawling me. Oh, ha ha ha. Except you're not actually, because I didn't have to click on a link to get there. Where's that piece? This is the annoying thing. There are so many pieces to look through. So many. Right. Just destroy another edge. Welcome, cutie Charlie. Oh, I'm surprised you weren't here. I suppose you are technically the first to say first, which is actually quite surprising. Yes, I did speak about Charlie before. Yes, edge pairing on dodecahedrons is annoying. There's just so many of them. Do you know this, of course? How many edges are there on a Megaminx or a Petaminx or whatever? I'm not actually sure how many times this has been solved without my input. I'm pretty sure it's at least twice. This puzzle has been used. So, I mean, it's about time I did it myself. Is it? This is the trouble. I can't find the piece. Where is it? Look all over the place and I simply cannot find it. Well, there's that piece. I couldn't find earlier. Cannot see it. Well, I'm sure I'll find it later. That's how it seems to work. Right. Meow. Yeah, I had somebody speaking, was it Hindi earlier? Or one of the other Indian languages. Um, I don't think anybody in this server speaks cat, though. I say server. Will I be stocking the Diansheng Mini 7x7? Probably. I don't think it's been released yet. There's that bitch I couldn't find earlier. Will you buy the Diansheng Mini 7x7? Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to try it myself as well, so I think I'll definitely get one. Oh no, no, it's not been released yet. SCS can get stuff early. Okay, well, if you plan to buy the Mini 7x7, then I'll probably have it. Don't know when. It hasn't been released yet. Goodbye, Riz's Tech Tutorials. It's, yes, time to revise for your exams. Nobody's followed me up on this, how to calculate the number of combinations in a cube. They just distracted me with pi. Come on, that's maths revision. Thank you, Cubic Speed, for subscribing. I've got lots of videos that are probably better than streams of solving Petaminxes. So yeah, check them out. Piece. It should be easier to find these pieces now. Each corner has 3 possible colours. Yes. Yes, that's a start. Then each corner has 8 possible positions. Yes, that is correct. Did I make a video about this? I think I did. I think I tried to calculate the number by hand at one point. I might do that again. Um, I doubt it. I doubt the Shadow V3 will have a non-UV version. The X-Man Hong didn't. The Spark V2 didn't, did it? Don't think so. So I don't see any reason why they'd do anything different. So sorry if you don't like UV coating, but it is what it is. Lost after that, oh dear. Right. So a cube has or 8 corners, which can be twisted 3 ways. Okay. And they can be positioned in 8 different places. So 8 to the power, no, 8 factorial times 3 to the power of 8. Okay. And then 2, no, so each edge, there are 12 edges, which can be flipped in 2 ways. So 12 factorial times 2 to the power of 12. If you times all that together, then you end up with a number that is 43 quintillion times 12. And then you have to divide it by 12 because a corner cannot be twisted. Corner can only be twisted a third of the possible ways, and an edge can only be flipped half of possible ways. And then I'm not going to work it out in my head while solving a Petaminx. Plus, I already know the answer, so it's kind of a bit pointless, isn't it? Yes, you are correct. I don't know why you need to use those times 10 to the 19 symbols. Like, you can just write out the whole number here. Like, there's no character limit or anything that's stopping you. You're watching me on a Nintendo Switch? Okay. Don't know how that's possible, but okay. I mean, obviously, like, you can turn the volume up, I assume. I don't know. Maybe there's a limited volume. Okay, fair enough. Although these days, I kind of think, well, you can just use ChatGPT or even Wolfram Alpha. Like, I mentioned that to somebody recently. Like, Wolfram Alpha is kind of redundant now in the age of ChatGPT, but it was quite useful a few years ago. People don't seem to know about it. So you could come off YouTube on your phone and still have me play. Fair enough. Thank you for watching. Hopefully soon I'll get over the 4,000 watch hours so I can make a few pence off YouTube. I've been stuck at 3,900 for months now. Pretty quick at this? I don't think so. Not compared to people who are actually good at it. AP, I recommend you watch AP if you think I'm fast at Petaminx. I suppose there's probably some high level maths that, yes, ChatGPT is probably not very good at yet. It seem to be able to do the odd maths calculation I've tried to give it, but obviously I haven't tried to give it anything extremely difficult. Have had to think about trigonometry when making cube images, though. So you think this stuff's useless? It's not. When did I start cubing? In 2012. Some slightly advanced GCSE questions too much for it. Oh, interesting. I didn't expect that. Well, I'm pretty sure it got the few trigonometry questions I asked it correct. When I had to work out some stuff for creating cube images. As soon as there's 2 or 3 steps. Right, yeah. Mm. Well, I didn't figure out the political agenda, I suspect. Um, is the reason why there are three children, specifically three children, on the box of the Moe Cube chair. I think there is a political reason for that. Just throwing it out there. That is not a coincidence. I think this is officially my longest solve of any puzzle that I know I can solve, and am in the process of completing. Not, I don't know if I'll be able to solve it. I know I can solve a Petaminx, but it is taking a very long time. I mean, this is the thing with big cubes and big minxes and things. It's like, of course I can solve it. There's no question about that. It's just how long is it going to take? And it's been over an hour and a half now. Which is a very long time. I find it hot edges or send. Oh, it's not a question of harder. Like, I've, there's no difference in terms of difficulty. Um, for me, because I can solve it. But centers obviously take longer. And obviously it works slightly differently on a big minx, but on big cubes the difference is exponential. So the bigger the cube, the longer centers take in relation to the in comparison to the edges. And I think it'd be the same with minxes. But obviously, yeah, of course it'd be the same with minxes. I can't think exactly how much right now. Where did I buy it? You do realise I run a cube store. Um, so yes, I bought it from a supplier in China that supplies cube stores. Um, and you can buy it from speedcubing.org, my cube store, and you should go there right after watching this stream and buy, yeah, Petaminx, Teraminx, Gigaminx. Dimes and gig mixes are actually out of stock at the moment. Just a bit annoying. I got the Shengshao gig mix, but obviously it's not as good. You can also buy a mystery puzzle. Yeah, you get a random non-WCA puzzle. Yeah, I was struggling earlier to find certain edges, and obviously I'm sure I'm doing this very, very inefficiently. I mean, kind of, yeah, in some ways I'm kind of like the beginner at F2L that I was complaining about earlier, in some ways. Obviously, very few people are good at solving big minxes. So very, very few people that can say I'm doing much wrong. It's my 3x3 main, supported on V2 at the moment. Obviously, it changes regularly because I run a cube store and I try out all these new cubes. Stuck with one brand. I've been using Moyu cubes quite a bit. Oh no, of course it does that. It's a compare app price, isn't there, that I haven't removed from the Mega Minx. There aren't supposed to be any compare at prices. I thought I'd removed them all. Because there were a few. I hope there's none on my website anymore. But there was one point where people were like, "Oh, it's like minus 5% off because the price had actually gone up." I think I fixed all of those. Hope so. Thank you, Xin. Hopefully, this will be done pretty soon. So yes, I solved a Petaminx in one sitting. Not sure how healthy that is. Welcome back, Charlie. And wow, yes, this is difficult for me. And then I presume that's Arabic, and I don't speak Arabic. I speak English and a bit of Spanish and a tiny bit of German. I guess a very, very tiny bit of Polish. Right. So, difficult or time consuming? It is. Well, exactly. It's not difficult. It is time consuming. Oh, yes. It goes to the end, doesn't it? Yes, of course. But then why is the wow in a different font to the this is difficult for you? Right, we're on Megaminx stage. Finally. What is my name? My name is Daniel. I run speedcubing.org, a cube store in the UK that you can check out and buy loads of cubes at. Yes, about to be done. Yeah, well, obviously Dianching aren't like making top minxes. Well, I don't think anybody seriously uses any of their minxes. Unfortunately, the number of times I've accidentally sent a Google Megaminx instead of a Dianching Galaxy Megaminx is unfortunately more than one, I think, which is very annoying. Hope I never make that mistake again, because obviously I don't like dealing with returns. I send people the wrong cube. How much? How much can you solve 3x3 cube? In about 9 seconds on average. So a lot faster than I solve Petaminxes. What? Oh no. Disconnected. Oh, okay. Reconnection successful. No idea what happens there. Hopefully you can hear me now because I'm about to be done. Don't want that bit to be missed. At least I didn't solve it while I was disconnected. Yes. Hopefully I won't get disconnected literally now. 143.49. The cube has been solved. And people are going to start noticing it in about 10 seconds on the stream because there's about a 20-second delay. Yes, Omni, cubes this big do exist. And you can buy them at speedcubing.org, although obviously maybe you should get a Petaminx first. No, that is definitely not a new world record. Do it again, you weren't looking. Okay, it's currently one move off. It's +2. Now it's solved. Right. Diane Sheng 16 by 16. Yeah, I don't know how long that will be. Might solve that on stream, maybe. There are bigger cubes as well, yes. And if you really want one, you can buy one. No, I'm not doing an average of 5. I might bring this to another competition and see how long it takes before it gets scrambled. That's kind of quite funny at competitions. Like I will leave a big Minx puzzle usually there and just see how long it remains solved. Like if somebody scrambles it, I don't do anything. I just see, because people are like scared to do anything with it. They're scared to try it. They see it solved. They're scared to scramble it. But then somebody does. And then it's like, well, is it going to get solved? And usually no. Yeah, we probably do need a small 70 by 70 that's good. But I haven't got anything bigger than 15 by 15 right now. I mean, yeah. Average of 2.5. What? I don't think so. It doesn't really exist. Right. Oh yeah. I was gonna memorize another 14 digits of pi before I finished. Right. No. Right. 1,000 digits of pi. Right. Gemini is here. Oh. Okay. Right. So, in groups of 50 digits, yes. 79, yes. So that's 200. 14127 Oh, I actually knew 302. Okay. So I've only got 14 more to learn. Okay, right. That's no 12 more to learn. Right. So 458700660631. 45870066030631. 45870066 no 006 yeah 458700660631. What's my obsession with pi? When I was at primary school, one of the teachers challenged me to learn 30 digits of pi, and the next day I learnt 40 digits. Well, that night I learnt 40 digits of pi, came back, recited them to her, and yeah, then I started learning more, and then I realised it was useless. And it's kind of just that thing that people memorise. People who think they're smart memorise digits of pi. Because it looks cool or whatever. Right, 458700660631. 458700660631. Okay, right. And just like with anything, I've got to recite the entire thing and then that. Right, okay. Blindfold on. 3.14.159.26535 8979 323 846 264 3383279 502 8841971 693 993 7105 209 719 445 923 078 64 862 862 809 986 803 4865. Now I've messed up. Right, you know what? I'm going to type it out. Yes, memorising large amounts of pi is impressive, but also pointless. I know! Right, okay. Um, let's go on Google Drive. All my boring cube store stuff. And let's type out pi. And then compare it. You did an 8 when you meant to do a 7. Where did I do that? Right. You've got genetic exam. Genetics exam? What's that? Genetics? I mean biology? Right, did I get that right? Oh no, it's 4587! Oh! Can't have that. Now I have to do it all over again. 4587. Oh, 660631. I have to do that all over again. Right. 0.0660631. Yes, okay. Okay. These match the known value of pi to 300 decimal places exactly. There was supposed to be 314 decimal places. Yes, I did solve the Petaminx. Don't worry, the Petaminx is solved. Somebody just commented about pi and told me to learn 314 digits because I knew 302. Turns out I thought I knew 300, but I actually knew 302. But okay, now I know 314 digits of pi. And ChatGPT has just verified that I have correctly typed out 314 digits of pi. And it can do it a lot faster than I can do that. Right, okay. That's enough nonsense. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and go and watch my other more interesting videos. Yep. Lol, what else are you into? Right, yeah.